Okay, let's start this up again, and let's hear how the sound is. Okay, it should be started back up again. I think I got rid of the ringing. If not, I apologize. I'll restart until I do, but let me check real quick. I've got to catch up with my own stream and see if the sound is okay. And bear with me, guys. Bear with me. My internet connection is very slow today. Okay, it should be started back up again. I think I got rid of the ring. Okay, perfect. No more ringing. Okay, guys, I apologize so much for that ringing. That was crazy annoying. Okay, so let me go ahead and just jump right into it, guys. This is Scott Streaming News, and I'm going to be doing this probably almost every day except for Sunday. This is going to be just kind of an update on anything you guys sent to me as far as topics you want talked about. I took a poll on minds.com, and I just recently did one on Facebook too to see what people wanted me to talk about. Let's jump right into the topics from there. So the first one we had was the Kathy Griffin picture of holding Trump's decapitated head, and people's reaction to that. How do I feel about it? That's what people wanted to know. My own personal feeling is I feel like artistic expression should never be censored at all as far as what you want to do. I guess it's more of a artistic expression, but at the same time, if I'm correct, Kathy Griffin's supposed to be a comedian, right? I don't see what was funny about that picture. Like, was there some aspect of it that I was supposed to get that was funnier? Or like, I'm not grossed out. I'm into horror. I'm into, gory movies and stuff like that. So it's not something that grossed me out or anything. But I still don't understand what the humor was of a picture of holding up Trump's like decapitated, burned head. The one thing that kind of disturbed me the most about it was the fact that somehow his son had seen it and it scared his son. That is pretty messed up if that happened. I mean, obviously I can understand the media might try to make it sound worse than it is just to get more drama in the news, but if that did happen, then that is pretty messed up, that you would make it so it's able for his son to be seen and have a decapitated picture of his dad sent to him. I would not want anybody to do that to my kids. That would not be good. Moving on from there, let's go right into it with our next topic. We've got, give me 1 second here. Okay, topics are Kathy Griffin picture, North Korea threatening Japan. This isn't the most recent up-to-date news, but people are asking about, I think, and if there is a threat here, and if I feel like my life isn't in any sort of danger at all. And my overall answer to that is not really, guys. I think maybe some people don't understand just how involved America's military is with both South Korea and Japan. I promise you, they have a multi-step plan already ready to go should any kind of attempted war break out. Apparently, South Korea and the American military have a what is it called, like a 4-tier plan of how they would stop a nuclear missile from hitting Japan or South Korea. I think some people imagine that when you send a nuclear bomb, it's like a couple seconds and then it hits, but I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure it goes almost all the way to space when they shoot one of those up, and it's got to come back down and hit its trajectory. Something North Korea still doesn't have the technology to do. Their technology is still pretty faulty, and the bomb launching system, whatever you would technically call it, I don't know, is apparently as low grade as like World War II grade technology. So they're a bit behind the times if you think about the level of technology and detection that our own militaries, especially Japan as well, have going. Is it annoying? Is it like a baby with a grenade? Yes, that's the way North Korea is acting, and the way they are dealt with by the Japanese. They find them to be very annoying and overly aggressive, but at the same time, they are just a baby with a grenade. I mean, it's a chubby little fat man with a grenade. So, moving on, we're going to the next one. Tiger Woods DUI. Someone sent me a picture that cracked me up and said just DUI it. and it had a Nike commercial with Tiger Woods on it. I'm not really sure why I'm getting asked about this one, as it's very, very off topic, but anything's fine. I said I open up myself to talking about anything. I feel like perhaps after Tiger Woods was caught in the scandal that he was caught in with cheating on his wife with like tons of women, his life has taken a bit of a spiral and it's gotten a bit out of control. Um, Honestly, I hope the guy can reel it back in. He apparently was not driving while drunk, but driving while under the influence of multiple prescription drugs. Well, prescription or not prescription, they're still drugs. And I'm sure they have a label on them that says do not operate a vehicle or machinery if you take this, which actually street drugs usually don't come with. I'm sorry, but I don't think it would be hard to imagine that most dealers don't put a label on the drugs that they sell that say, oh, and just, be careful with some machinery, be careful with driving. So if anything, I feel like it's more irresponsible to drive and operate machinery while on prescription drugs that have labels that tell you not to do so on them. So while he is being irresponsible, while he is making some very poor decisions, I do still wish the best for him. I think he's probably a pretty decent dude underneath all the struggles and pain he's going through right now. But sadly, right now, it seems like he's in a bit of a spiral. All right, let's go straight into comments from there for questions as far as what people want to see talked about. I guess one of them that I'll jump right into now, which is something I've been trying not to tackle or get into or talk about at all, is the whole Sam thing. Apparently, people keep messaging me over and over again that Takeo Sam is talking trash about me on his streams, and Victor as well. I'm saying he's also talking trash about Victor. And people want to know like how I feel about that, how I respond to it, if there's something I feel like I've done to make him act this way. No, I don't think so. I think, honestly, my feelings is that the guy is in a lot of pain right now. There must be something more going on in his life that I don't know about. I don't really communicate with him that much anymore due to the fact that he does act this way, where he does constantly lash out and be very aggressive with people. I wish the guy the best. I hope he gets better. I hope he deals with whatever his pain is right now. I mean, alls I can see with doing things like putting up a thumbnail for one of his videos of Rachel from Rachel and June with a black eye and the title of the video called Stop Beating Your Wife. I feel like that is a severe cry for attention and a severely over-the-top lashing out at somebody who's never really done anything to him. And I feel like the guy's probably in a lot of pain if he's doing stuff like that. Most times when I see my meanest comments or I see my angriest messages to myself from, I don't know, anything from trolls to viewers unhappy with whatever my material is, I can already sense that the person's in a lot of pain, and I don't know what they're dealing with, so I'm not here to judge. And I can only hope that their life gets better, that they can work through whatever their problems are, and one day become a more empathetic person and look back on what they said and be like, wow, that was too much. I really was a jerk during that time. And that's not something that I can personally help them get through. There's not one word or one piece of advice that I can say that can stop a person from lashing out like that. That's something they've got to really work through themselves, and that's something I hope Sam can do. I hope he can work through that and what he's dealing with right now, whatever that is. I wish him the best. Okay, I don't know why my phone is not loading any of its messages, but luckily I've got a second computer open here with all the topics that people listed, so I'm just going to flip on over to that. Sorry if I go a little bit off camera while I do this. Okay. Let's see. Trump indicating that he will pull the U.S. out of the Paris Climate Agreement. Jason had just sent that one in. How do I feel about that? I really worry about the future of all climate things. I'm not a person who denies that we're in a bit of a debacle as far as the climate is concerned, and I really worry that if too many big countries and big politicians do pull away from this and don't take it serious enough, all they're doing is dooming the next generation to, a scorched earth. And that's a scary thing, because that means I'm leaving a wasteland for my kids. I hope the world starts taking it more serious, but at the same time, I feel like there's not a lot I can do personally to help this along. I try to help out with any volunteer work I see going on connected to Kyoto Protocol and get the word out there as far as what I feel is a climate problem that's eventually going to happen. But really, I mean, the job is up to the big politicians, and it's something I really hope they take more serious. Let's see. Next is, how about the princess giving up royal status for marriage to a commoner? Sean asked this question, and I believe what he's talking about is the princess of the Japan's royal family. She's going to marry a commoner. I believe he's a engineer, if I'm correct. He's some kind of like high-level job that I know I could never tackle. They're saying in the news that she is big into being into science. She's hardcore about engineering, and she's actually about to get married to someone who's not within royal family lineage, and that's a pretty different than how the royal family has operated for years upon years. And I feel like she must be a pretty down-to-earth person to do that. I think she looks at a lot of the figurehead mentality as kind of silly, and realizes that going within this royal lineage to do little to nothing for Japan is kind of pointless. She wants to probably have a bigger impact on the world, her life, her career, and her choices as far as a scientist is concerned. And really, I mean, the royal family, while interesting and great for news, doesn't really mean a lot in Japan anymore. It means about as much as, the UK's royal family, where I realize they run volunteer stuff. They do, all sorts of charity work. That's great, but I don't know. I always feel like it's kind of silly. It's like people playing pretend, king and queen. There's no real actual king and queen in both of those countries now, yet people still have those titles. I just wonder why they keep that up. Why don't they just be like royal charity or I don't know. I just feel like using the titles of princess, queen, king, prince is just kind of silly. I don't understand the whole mentality. I guess maybe for tradition, and since my own country doesn't have that tradition, maybe I don't fully understand it. I'm not out to mock it or make fun of it. It's just something I can't fully connect with. I'd love to hear your thoughts, though, and see how you feel about that. So let me know in the comments about if you think it's worth it to have a quote-unquote royal family. Okay, let's move on from there. Our next question was... Oh, okay. It was tackling the Takeo Sam debacle that I've talked about already. I think from there we're about at the end of everything people were asking about for the day. Let me just update real quick. One more comment has come out since then. No, it looks like we covered everything. Oh, one more comment. Sorry, hold on. Okay, looks like we got everything covered. I'm just going to cover a couple more topics people sent to me in the Japan news. That's fine. I said people are able to ask international news, and seeing as Japan is international, people are going to ask me that. That's what my channel's known for. So I can't blame people or get upset with people, especially with how people have been handling my Patreon recently and constantly updating it with donations. It would be both ignorant and rude of me not to pursue the things that they are asking me and paying me, literally paying me to pursue. So let's jump into that. Let me bring that up really quick. Okay. This first one is hilarious. The headline was, "Mysterious yellow liquid sent to Nagoya officials with message to end women-only train cars." So apparently, by officials, they mean, I guess, government officials who are in charge of separating the different train cars within train lines in Japan. If you guys don't know this already, there are some designated just for women, and this is to avoid groping on trains in Japan, which is still a common problem. I guess somebody's pretty pissed off about this. And there's actually even a channel on YouTube. I don't know if you guys know this. There's a guy whose channel, I believe it's called Mr. Sabetsu, which means Mr. Discrimination. And apparently what he does is he goes on the women's trains to protest them, I guess, having their own car. I don't understand why this is such a big deal to some people. I know some people are saying, like some protesters of this women's only car are saying, well, why is there not a men's only car? Which I guess I can see that. I agree with that. Why is there not a men's only car? Do I feel like I need a men's only car? No, not really. I'm okay. But if there is going to be one designated for women, I mean, they could designate one for men to balance it out and possibly end this silly bickering. Whether or not people would follow the laws of going into a men's only car, I'm not sure. I don't know how many people know it in Japan, even Japanese themselves, but the women's only car is actually only a suggestion. It's not something that's pursued by law. So if you are a man and you do go on the women's train, there is actually nothing the police can do or the train station can do, aside from politely say, oh, could you leave, please? Let's go on from there. There's some interesting ones that people sent me from the crime section, and honestly, I'm a big fan of true crime, so anything people are going to send me from the crime section of any newspaper, I'm kind of excited to read. I'm not saying Oh, let me stop real quick and say, Hungar Master 1, thank you so much for your donation. You just donated $5 to me. You rock, dude. Yo, Scott, like it, keep up the YouTube game, and have fun with it. I'll be a subscriber till your channel ends, bro. Well, thank you so much. I will be a huge fan of yours, Hungar Master 1. Oh, A-Troll is back again. What's up, dude? Let's go right on to our next one. This is kind of, I mean, really good news, and kind of puts a really positive light on Japan. 50 people rescued from human traffickers in Japan in 2016. So people that were being trafficked through Japan were actually stopped because Japan's trafficking laws and immigration laws and refugee laws and export and import laws are incredibly strict, and Japan follows them to an utter T. And they recently came across a group trying to traffic humans via all different sorts of transportation, and for all different sorts of horrible things like prostitution. They said half of the victims were apparently Japanese nationals, what's really scary. That means they were just abducted from Japan. But the other half of the group that they helped save were from all different countries. So Japan, always following their laws very strict. Some people complain about this, that they're overly tightly wound with how they follow their own laws, but look at some of the good stuff that can come of this. They just rescued 50 people who were about to be sent off into human trafficking, and half of those people weren't even from their own country, so they went out of their way to really help an international community in a very desperate situation. This one is like, I don't know, the title of the article itself that was sent to me seems a bit silly. It says, woman found dead in Niigata Love Hotel, suspect found by bed with slash wrist. He's the suspect, but I mean, come on. If the guy next to her was found with slash wrist, I'm thinking he most likely did it. Actually, I want to read this article out loud. I'm not actually familiar with this article, so I'd like to see exactly what it says. Give me 1 second here while this loads. It says, a 36-year-old woman was found dead in Niigata City Love Hotel room on Monday night. Police said, adding that a man in his 40s was found lying on the floor near the bed, unconscious after apparently having cut his own wrists. As of now, there have not been any arrests, but the suspect is the man who did slash his wrist. I'm guessing that's most likely who it is. Nobody attacks and kills one person and then slashes only the wrists of the other person. Let's see here. We got our next one. It was something. The last one was about. Oh, woman's body found in Hokkaido forest. Police are investigating the death of a woman whose body was found buried in the mountain forest of Tsunagawa City, Hokkaido Prefecture, on Sunday morning. The body was found around 10 a.m. after a man suspected of killing her told police where to look. Well, guess who did that one? I think pretty easy to figure that one out. Alright guys, I'm going to jump into the comments real quick to see if anybody's got anything here they want answered. Okay, going back up through here. Alright. Alright, looks like I covered everything. I guess I want to take this time right now to thank everyone who's donated to my Patreon. I do want to let you guys know that something retroactive that I'm doing now is anybody who's paid $20 or more on the Patreon will be getting sent a fat pack from me from Japan. Let me just grab some of this stuff. I'm going to just show you some of the stuff I'm sending out because I think you'll find some of it kind of interesting. I've got these little toys here. Well, I guess they're kind of like toys slash like fake foodie type stuff. These are tiny little sushi that are from a Velcro sushi roll that you can put together. This is just one of the things that I'm going to be sending in the packs. If any of this stuff that you see today you want to get, all you do is send the $20 tier to the Patreon. I cover all the costs for mailing, for shipping, and the international handling costs. Those can be anywhere from $5 to $10, so I eat quite a bit of what you donate. But that's totally okay for me. I feel like this is the best way for me to give something back other than the other rewards that I've already offered on there. Like I'm going to be sending some people illustrations, PNG illustrations on Adobe Illustrator, like some of the ones you've seen in my recent horror videos. I'm going to be sending some people actual complete videos that they wanted made. Some of the people have hit really high levels on the tier, which kind of blows my mind. Those people will actually be getting a video made on the topic they want, and yes, they can choose Japan for the topic. I'm not going to turn away. I'm not going to say, well, yeah, I know you paid me that money, but I'm not going to do Japan stuff anymore. If you pay and you ask for something, I deliver. It's customer service. And if any of this stuff you do want, like for example, here's the one. This is like a set of Japanese money. It's got a Japanese credit card too, and it comes with some of the 50 yen pieces that you can tie on a necklace as a good luck charm. It's a talisman kind of in Japan. Just go to patreon.com/Scott Ackerman. You can find my stuff on there. If you donated to Unrested, I have actually shut that one down. If your money did not go through yet, I made sure to cancel it and refund you to make sure anyone who was already donating on that and did not know I changed to a new one, they get their money back no matter what. If they do move over to my new one, my Scott Ackerman one, I thank you so much. But don't feel like it's any sort of obligation. Don't feel like it's necessary. Don't feel like you'll lose any money if you've continued to pay for the Unrested one. I will refund it. I will cancel any of your payment methods that you have on there to make sure you are not giving money to something that you do not fully support. If you do decide to support me on my continuation on this channel, you're awesome. But anyway, let's get back to the cool stuff. Look at these. These are pretty awesome. These are like Sushi Toys too, but like the top, you can't see it. I don't want to open it because I don't want to ruin it for anybody who's going to get this. But it's Velcro on the top, so you can switch out the different types of sushi that are on there. They got salmon and tamago. One lucky guy, he hit the 50 level tier. I couldn't believe it. He's going to get himself a kendama. These are really fun to play around with. This is pretty much the equivalent to any sort of sideshow or like juggling type feat. It takes a lot of ambidexterity and very agile skills to use one of those. They're really fun to practice with though. If you're really into like learning how to do a really cool little set of tricks, the kendama is pretty awesome. Oh, and just so you know, even that envelope that I'll be sending them in, like the little fat packs that I'll be sending them in, I made sure to get Japan-based ones that have a cool little sumo wrestler on them. And even the cards, I'm going to write everybody like a personal message. I even got like little ninja cards, so they'll get the full Japan experience. Some of the other stuff. Let me get some of the other cool stuff. I got almost everybody who watches my channel is into some sort of anime or manga or Pokemon, so I've gotten a ton of the gacha toys. That's the capsule toys, and I just purchased like a massive amount of them, so I can randomize what I sent you. I made sure not to put any doubles in any of the packages, so I take the time to filter through all of that. So yeah, I mean, you got all kinds of cool ones. The only ones I couldn't get because they were kind of expensive. They'd almost cancel out the entire Patreon fund. Is the new Sun and Moon ones are pretty expensive still. So if you were looking to get Sun and Moon, I won't be able to send those, but you will get this one, which I don't even know his name. There's more though. There's more though. Sorry, I got to reach down to the bag every time I do this. Some of the ladies will be getting a set of lady stickers. You know, or dudes, if you guys want these stickers too, that's okay. I'm not going to judge. These are massive size, so they're pretty awesome. The one in the middle, that's pretty sick. If you have kids at home, probably they'll kill you to try and take that sticker, because that's a massive one. But if guys ask for them too, and they're like, but dude, I want guy stickers, I made sure to get a set of the Shinkansen stickers and all the different train sets with the Japanese names on them, of course. Oh, and if you're wondering about my background right now, this is my favorite soda in Japan. That's why I made it my background. I'm going to change the background every single day to keep the set constantly changing. It can be anything I want it to be. It's exciting, right? The other cool thing I got is like these weird little house sets. They're kind of like almost like a dollhouse set, but not really. So for example, this is a Denki stove. This is like a heater. I've got like a tiny TV, a bunch of all kinds of weird, crazy stuff. Again, those are gacha capsule toys. I'll also be sending all different types of hiragana sets, and I haven't found any cool kanji stickers yet. That's one thing I want to send out to a lot of people, cool kanji stickers. And, oh, this is the coolest part. So anybody who enters the $20 level on Patreon gets put into a drawing for a kind of bonus toy. And it's this somewhat expensive Beatle toy. I actually made this quite a bit more expensive to the point that it'll almost cancel out what the person paid. And this is kind of just to like put some sort of prize for people who are renewing every month. Yes, if you do renew every month with the Patreon, I will send a package every month for the $20 tier. And you have a chance of winning some kind of surprise like this. So every time I'm going to pick a different person, it'll be totally random. The only people who get slightly better stuff sometimes are the $50 and above tier. Of course, I'm going to give them top prizes, but they may not win this. Even the $20 tier may be the winner of this, even though it's probably going to completely cancel out all the money I get. Oh, the bigger sushi ones, those are cool too. I like those. They have Velcro on them because, I don't know if you know, but like it's a giant nori roll, like a giant seaweed roll on it. And so once you get them, you can put them all together. So you have like the big long roll. The rest here. Oh, and the other package I got was, whoops, no, there we go, is the samurai one riding the horse, so that you can get, you know, you're not getting the same thing every time when I change up whatever the packages I'm sending. I'll make sure to change up your envelope too, so you're not just getting the same stuff over and over. That's one thing I like to do, is I like to put a lot of variety into everything I send. And one thing I want to really make clear is if you donated to me before this took hold, before I started this $20 tier, and you donated above $20 or $20 exactly, this is retroactive. I'll go back and I'll mail this stuff to you. Just one thing I'm kind of having a little bit of trouble with. Some people are forgetting to send their address, so they'll pay for everything and be really excited, and then I'll ask them for their address, and the tier says to you a couple times, like, please send your address. You got to do that. There's nothing else I can do if you don't send your address. So please do that. The last time I ever did a GoFundMe, I sent out pictures, and some people paid and just never sent me an address, and I was never able to send their picture. And some people even got really angry at me. They're like, "You didn't send me my picture yet," and I'm like, "But you've never sent me your address." And they're like, "Oh, whoops." Cracks me up, dude. Let me see. That's about everything there for right now. I got a couple more goodies in another bag, but I don't want to wander from the camera too far. Maybe, you know what, I'll keep that for tomorrow's stream so that I'm not showing the same stuff every time. I can keep everything a little bit different. Let me jump back in here real quick to the comments. I want to just check to make sure there were no more questions. Anybody got any more questions left before we finish up for the day? Let me just check here. Are you a cam whore now? Yes, I am. Do you just want donations on... Oh, I'm going to start the GoFundMe today. I actually only have a Patreon going, but some people, and I totally understand this, they don't want a reoccurring, charge, and I totally get that, to be honest. Like, if I donate to somebody, I try not to do Patreon. I try to do GoFundMe or Kickstarter instead, because I'll totally forget that I've donated to a Patreon if it's too high. And if I want to do a very large sum of money too, like sometimes I'll do $100, but I can't do a reoccurring charge of $100 on Patreon. So I'm gonna go start a GoFundMe today. I'll post that on Facebook. I'm sorry for not already having that up. Anybody who wants to get the packages sent to them on Patreon, just make sure you do the $20 and above tier, and make sure you send me that address. I really, really, really need it. Okay, Bob Joe says, do you like any YouTube horror channels? Hold on, sorry, let me stretch this out. I can't see all the way. Okay, do you like any YouTube horror channels? I know you like horror movies, but what about internet creepy channels? Yes, I watch darn near everything out there, I think. My two all-time favorite horror channels on YouTube are Rainbot and Scare Theater. I'm really happy Rainbot came back. I feel like she does some really great videos. I don't know if you guys saw recently, but you should check it out. She just did this video recently on like someone who was taken hostage live on YouTube, and they kept posting this girl being held hostage. I don't know if that's true or real. It looks really real if you watch the video, but it's creepy nonetheless, so it's very exciting for me to see new creepy stuff that they come up with or explore or debunk. Like Scare Theater is really big into debunking all sort of quote-unquote urban legends, and well, I mean, I think it's kind of silly, but he debunks people who think creepypastas are real, which if you think creepypastas are real, I'm sorry to tell you that probably almost none of them are. Let's see. Oh, and then some of the other people I watch Lazy Masquerade. I used to watch Mr. Nightmare a lot, but he's gotten really boring. Like, I don't understand why he's at 1 million subscribers and yet still does like the boring Reddit, like, ooh, true horror story from Reddit. Like, those are getting really old really fast. And some of them are damn near like agoraphobic tales where someone's like, I was at a restaurant and the waitress kept trying to talk to me. She kept even asking if my order was okay. She was a stalker. And you're like, no, she was actually just doing her job as a waitress. You're crazy. I don't know if this is rude, but that package with the yen kind of catches my eye. I wonder if I can ask for that. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Okay. Pita, I will make sure to send you that. Just hit me up. If you're already on my Patreon, hit me up on there and let me know you wanted it, because that way I can connect your account to sending it. Otherwise, I'm not going to remember that. Oh, this YouTube is this Patreon, and that's this message. So just hit me up on there, and I'll make sure I send it to you. No problem, man. Creeps McPasta is really good and trying to grow. Oh, Jilly D, dude, thanks, dude. This is the second time you've donated, man. You rock so much, dude. Thank you. Oh man, you're the best. Oh, and Peter, I'm sorry I still haven't checked your Steam code. Oh, I'm so bad. I'm a bad friend. Yeah, people have been sending me Steam codes and also all sorts of donations. I'm guessing this is probably because I ended the Japan stuff, so I think what I'm going to do, and this is because I can't really say no to people who are literally paying me for a service they want. Um, I'm thinking I'm probably going to turn the second channel into a kind of part-time Japan-based channel. Not quite totally like JFAC. I don't think there's any more questions that I can answer. I don't think there's anything I haven't answered already. But I want to keep it open for when people read something in the news about Japan and they're very confused by it, because sometimes there is quite a few things like that in the Japanese news. I'm going to open up my second channel for that and call that one Unrested. And then I'm going to start a GoFundMe, and if it goes through okay, I'm actually going to start a sort of newsroom here in my school. I've got one extra room. It's this one that I'm in right now. That's a green screen room. Like, it's literally everything in here is green, so I can green screen an entire news type place. I've got my friend Tiger, my friend Mike, and my school coordinator Sunny, who all want to join in on that. And then you're going to get perspectives from a variety of different races and a female perspective from my coordinator. I get asked so many questions from different perspectives of people's lives I will never live. I don't know what it's like to be a black man in Japan, so Tiger will be able to cover that. And if people ask me that, it's okay, but obviously I can't give you a very good descriptive, uh, I guess, feeling of how it is to be black in Japan. So that's why we're going to start that panel. That panel will then be able to answer your questions. It won't just be me. I will be in that panel answering the questions, and I will be part of the news segment that they do. But if the GoFundMe hits the amount that we need to start the whole studio for that, we're going to make it a full-time gig every week and hopefully hit you up with all the news that you want. Then those people still hungering for the Japan stuff will get it. I'll be doing a service to the people paying me on Patreon, which if I don't, I'd just feel too guilty. Like, I'd almost end up going back to doing Japan stuff on this channel, but that's not creatively I can't. Creatively I can't right now. I can still answer your questions about Japan. I can still talk about it when it's newsworthy or in like a streaming segment like this, but I'm not going to be doing like JFAC on this channel anymore and stuff like that. I'm really sorry, but I'll be keeping a lot of that on my secondary channel. Right now, it's called Scott Ackerman Vlogging and Gaming. It needs to be changed to Unrested Japan News Now or Unrested International News Now or something like that. I can't change the name right now. You can only change the name something like every 30 days, and I just changed the name, so I'm stuck there. If you go there now, the banner says Unrested, though, so you'll know what I'm talking about. It's my other channel connected to this one. Hello, Scott. Hello, Edgy. Creeps McPasta Kai. I actually already watched Creeps McPasta. He's really good, actually. Okay. Bob Joe says, weird question, but are you licensed teacher in Florida? I was a licensed teacher in Florida. You know, your license expires, and obviously there's been no reason for me to go back and renew it. But before I left, I was still a licensed teacher. I'm just asking because you said you used to teach in a public school in Florida. Have you maintained your license from overseas? Oh, I just answered that. No, I'm sorry, I have not. Really not a point to. I'm not sure if you caught my question, but have you seen or heard about the sci/horror anime series Another? Sounds really familiar. I'm gonna have to check that out. I haven't actually heard about that recently. I haven't watched it, I don't think. I've watched, God, what's that one? Yami, I can't remember. It's like these really short anime segments that are kind of like urban legendy type stuff. The animation's a bit strange in them, and they have this kind of sort of cutout feel, this kind of like cut out of paper type look. And recently today, another creepy thing that I just watched, you guys should all check this out. David Firth just came out with a brand new cartoon called Cream. And I don't want to say anything about it other than go check it out. You will be pleasantly surprised. David Firth is a damn genius. If you don't know who he is, he's the guy who made Salad Fingers. If you don't know what Salad Fingers is, dude, go check out Salad Fingers, man. You're going to love it, dude. David Firth is just amazing, dude. His stuff is incredible. Let's see what's else. Is YouTube all there is for your content, Scott? I'm sure I don't quite understand that question. All right, let me just go through real quick. I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody's questions. Favorite alcoholic beverage and brand? Probably Tsar. There's a, I believe it's a Russian drink. It's an ale. No, it's not an ale. Oh no, maybe it is, because I remember it says Imperial Ale, right? And it's called Tsar. It's got like 13% alcohol content. It's got sort of that black jelly bean anise type taste. I really like that taste. I really like black jelly beans. In fact, I'm gonna post my address for my school. If you guys actually, if you check out my website tlceng.org, tlcenglish.org, that has the address for my school. You guys can send anything you want there. As far as like people are always asking me, they want to send me things like Captain Crunch cereal because I talk about that a lot, and black jelly beans. I really like those. I can't get any of that stuff here in Japan. So yes, if you want to send me any of that stuff, that's the place to send it to. All right, Chills is good. Shroud at Hand is also great. Oh, I listen to Chills too. Yeah, definitely. Chills is a bit strange though. That guy, whenever he reads like the most monotone way possible. He's like, on April 15th, a man was murdered inside of a hospital. The police did not know. Like, that's the way every single video he does, there's like no emotion into it. But I guess, that's Chill's thing. That's the way he does it. Let's see. I need a GoFundMe for Japan. Yeah, I've known a lot of people who've done that. Have you ever seen those anime boob mouse pads? Yeah, they exist all over an area called, not Nipponbashi. Nipponbashi's next to it. Denden Town here in Osaka, and Akihabara in Tokyo. You can get mouse pads that are like this, like an average mouse pad. I'm picking mine up right now as an example. So they're just like a normal mouse pad like this, or actually no, they're this way, they're the long ways like this. And then there's a boob here and a boob here for arm support. It's interesting. I don't know. I don't think I would ever buy such a thing. I think even other Japanese people would be kind of creeped out if I had one of those at my school. Let's see. I think I've gotten through just about everything. Okay, we're at about 40 minutes now. This is about how long I want to keep these anyway. I'll keep them about 45 minutes anyway. So that's great. I got to hit everybody up here and hit up all their questions. I apologize. Today I put up a poll for questions on Facebook like way too late. I did it like right before I went on, so that didn't give anybody any time. I apologize for that. What I'm going to do is as soon as I get off of this live stream right now, I'm going to post a place to put questions again, both on Facebook and Twitter. Is there anything else you guys would like me to use more to communicate with you? Some people are saying I need to use Snapchat. I'll try to get better at that. I have a Snapchat account, but I'm really not too good at being able to use it. I'm like, what am I supposed to film through the day? Instagram, I don't know, what else is out there that people are using all the time now? One of the GoFundMe things that I'm going to put in my GoFundMe is a GoFundMe for more of an internet package for my phone to do Periscope streaming while I'm out and about in Japan. This will be on my Japan-based channel, and it's something I want to be able to do just like Ice Poseidon did, where he walks around and shows the places that he's walking around. I can talk to you live and answer questions live about the things you're seeing in the background of my videos. I always feel like every time I do one of those videos where I'm Walk and Talk Japan, people have so many questions, and it's hard for me because I have to go back and watch the video again and again to try and catch what they saw. They're more observant than I am. When I'm talking, I'm kind of dead to the world and speaking to my camera. So it's very hard for me to remember like what I walked past and saw. So if I can do that live, I feel like I could better answer people's questions. And one of the biggest things people really complain about, and rightfully so, I mean they have every right to, is that they're going to miss Walk and Talk Japan. So I want to bring that back, but I want to bring that back in a different way. I'm going to bring it back on a different channel, and I want to do it in a very different way, in the sense of doing a streaming sort of Q&A with all the different stuff going on in the background. What is it? I'm thinking probably 90% of the time the answer is going to be Pachinko Parlor. Anyway, guys, I think I'm going to end it right here. Tell me what you thought of today's sort of streaming news. I'm going to try and stick to doing the streaming news, international news, and then your questions about topics that can be anything from things that are going on YouTube, online, I don't know if you would really consider the Kathy Griffin thing news, but that was one of the things people asked me about too, and that is fine. I can go ahead and tackle those. Pretty much a lot of the same things you see Philip DeFranco get to answer, I would love to answer some of those questions too, so nothing is off limits. As well as Japan too. I gotta give the people what they want, and when it comes to streaming, these are not hard to make. I can sit here and talk all day, so I'm not going to be like, oh guys, I don't have the energy to do this. I can't answer stuff about Japan. No, this is so easy to do that I can't refuse. And like I said, people are literally paying for it via Patreon, and now people are asking about a GoFundMe too. So if people are helping me out with my own resources to make this show better, then I need to make it better for them. I gotta give the people what they want. All right, guys, have a great one. Until next time, I'll see you tomorrow. I'll try to be logged on at a little bit earlier time than what I was on today. I know for some of you this is probably like 11 at night. Some people want it to be a little bit earlier, 10 or 9. I'm going to try and slowly hone in on what time is best for everyone. And I may actually be on a little bit later today, and just kind of do an update and a thank you to a lot of those of you who have donated. Have a great one, have a great day, and I'm guessing for most of you, have a wonderful evening.